Oh, that was quite the session. Let me ask you something. What do you do with your gear? How do you take care of it once you're done with this session? I'm going to show you 10 things I do to take care of my gear. Now, they may not be perfect. Some of them might be a little weird, but hopefully it's something someone can learn from. Post in the comments some of the ideas you have about how to take care of your gear. Here's my 10. Let's start with the practical things. A brush. Now, if you're already doing this, you know. But with sails, take a little more care, especially if there's sand. We'll get to that in a moment. Mine lives in the car, always. I keep a plastic container for wetsuits, harness, helmet, whatever, and some water nearby. For boots especially, you'll thank yourself later. And sometimes camera gear. Getting out of a heavy wetsuit can feel like a negotiation you're losing. A mat just solves that. Protects the suit and protects your dignity. I'll give boards a rinse when they need it. Mainly the foot straps, mast track, fin box. Just enough so everything's ready to go next time. And while we're on boards, the great debate, shiny bottom or sanded. We'll come back to that, along with some foiling thoughts. Now sails. This is where it gets personal. Plenty of people roll them up and put them away and never think twice. And honestly, that's fine. No issues. I rinse mine if there's sand or dirt. If I've rigged on grass and kept it clean, I don't always bother. Pulleys, cambers, give those a rinse too. I roll mine slightly loose, stand it up, and let it dry out for a few days. I always make sure the sail can dry out over time, especially if it's fresh water. If you need it dry quickly, before a repair, say, roll it out somewhere shady, never in the sun. Or if you want to get a little creative, I'll occasionally hang a sail. Tie off the foot and the head, hang it by the clew. It works beautifully, though probably unnecessary for everyday use. Keep sails out of the sun whenever you can. UV and careless handling are the real enemies here. For storing, roll parallel to the battens. Pull the leech end if you need to keep it straight when rolling. To tighten the roll, reach in through the mast sleeve end and pull. A tight roll can avoid creases if the bag gets squashed. And always store it mast sleeve down, never on the clew end, or lay it flat. The mast. Sand gets in there, usually during rigging and de-rigging. A quick rinse and it's ready for next time. Simple. Harness lines seem to always collect dirt. Open the boom clips, spray them out, get into the adjustment holes. You'll be glad you did. The base and extension, a brush or a rinse at the beach if they need it. Nothing more complicated than that. For the wetsuit, a good hanger with oversized shoulders. I rinse everything: wetsuits, harness, boots, helmet, outside, in the tub, wherever works. The shower is honestly the easiest for wetsuits. Generous, efficient, no fuss. If you're traveling and need it done quickly, towel it off, put a fan on it. A few hours and you're good to go. Boots are their own thing. The key is keeping them from staying damp. Leave them wet too long and, well, you know. I rinse them, towel them dry, put them in front of a fan, and they're good in a couple of hours. That's all it takes. A padded foil bag, get one. Life genuinely becomes easier. I rinse everything at the beach as I'm packing up. A quick towel dry, done. And this I owe to my friend Chris. A pair of socks makes a perfectly wonderful wing cover. Practical, a little eccentric, but completely effective. Fuse threads, just rinse and wipe. Mast, the same thing. Stick a cheat sheet and a ruler inside your bolt box. When you can't remember which bolts go to which board, and you will forget, everyone does, it's there. For lubricating bolts, I went through a few phases. Tef gel first, too sticky, attracts dirt. Marine grease, same problem. Then I found silicone spray and I haven't looked back. It dries, it doesn't stay tacky, it doesn't collect everything it touches, it just works. One thing though, don't let these products get onto the surface of the fuse, foil or mast, directly or from your hands. They're water repellents, so may cause performance problems. And honestly, in practice, as long as you're pulling those bolts out after each session and rinsing the fuse and mast, even in salt water, you don't need to obsess over it. I lube my foil gear a couple of times a year at most, never had a problem. Just pay attention to your own setup and trust your instincts. And look how easy it is to get all these bolts in one shot. Ah, the rabbit hole of glossy versus sanded bottoms. Let's look at this board I built. This board is pretty good already. You're aiming for a sheet of water rather than it beading. I'm just wiping it with water. It does bead a bit, but not too bad. Now a little detergent. Let's rinse it off. Wipe it down. That's pretty good. So maybe that's all you need. But if you really have to sand it after a repair or something, I use 1000 grit. Some people say as low as 600, but that seems really rough to me. A sponge or piece of packing foam like this worked great. Keep it wet and rinse often. This might be worth it for a speed or slalom board, but this isn't going to do a thing for my performance on the water. This board should be in the air most of the time anyway, but it does make you feel better. Foils are a slightly different story. Here I built a front wing. Same process as the board, wet sand with 1000 grit. You can see it go from beading water to a sheet. But unless you're doing some kind of repair, you shouldn't have to do anything. Just keeping the foil setup clean will be fine. Well, if you're still watching, here are a couple of other things I do. Hopefully there's been something useful for you here. Leave your ideas in the comments. I genuinely love to know what you do. Thank you for watching.